Good morning, adventurers. This is year 5 of Adventure Otaku. Let's go. I really wanted to shoot this video outside, but it is bloody cold out this morning and windy, and I am not going to get on the water. It is a little too cold and windy even for me. It's about 25 degrees, and it wasn't that windy when I got here, but I now see lots of wind markings on the water, so it's windy out there. I am going to just stay in my cozy van. Welcome back. I am super excited to see you this fine January morning. Even though it's cold, it's still a fine January morning. And I want to just talk a little bit about this channel and where this channel was and where this channel is going and who the heck am I? I am Brett. I run the Adventure Otaku channel. As I said in the beginning, this is year 5, which is hard to believe. 4 years ago in August of 2019, I wouldn't say I published my first video because I had the channel, honestly, I've had the channel since 2008, but used it sparingly. In 2019, in August of 2019, I started posting regularly, and I have posted a video a week, sometimes 2 videos a week since then, only missing a couple for, you know, the occasional like family thing or a trip thing or something like that. But as you watch this, I am literally loading the van to head to the North Carolina coast to do a trip. Man, that is probably ill-advised. I hope this video doesn't come back to haunt me. There are some serious risk management concerns on this trip. We'll get into that in another video. But as I said, as you're watching this, I am loading the van up. So the channel started out as Life of an Outdoor Educator. I wanted to sort of give people that glimpse of outdoor educator life. And then almost immediately COVID started. And I wasn't teaching classes. And then I went back to work to teaching classes. I worked for REI at the time. I don't anymore. Then REI shut down classes, even post-COVID, where I was working. And so it became less about Life of an Outdoor Educator and more outdoor education, which is what I do. I think I'm a good paddler. I'm probably by some standards a better than average paddler. Maybe even by some standards a very good paddler. But I really think that my gift in life is teaching. I really love outdoor education. I think I'm really good at it, and I do it a lot. I teach kayaking primarily, which is primarily what this channel is about, but I also teach wilderness medicine, which is sort of my primary mode of income. But I also teach navigation, I teach backpacking stuff, I teach all sorts of stuff. And I would really like this channel to cover more than just kayaking, and so I do sprinkle that stuff in. There's been some backpacking stuff, there's been some navigation stuff, and that stuff doesn't get views as well because the bulk of my viewers somehow found me as primarily a paddling channel, which is fine. Paddling is my first love. Sea kayaking, I should say, is my first love, and the other stuff is just fun to do. However, this year, as I'm writing a sea kayak navigation book, which is coming along well but slowly, which is how books go, I want there to be more of a focus on navigation this year. Navigation, as far as I view it, is a dying art because of things like cell phones. We're losing that ability to navigate effectively, and I think that really poses, for any adventurers, for anyone doing stuff in the outdoors, I think it poses a risk management issue. I think that's an important skill, and I think that there's going to be a turnaround where people start to realize that and hopefully stop relying on our phones quite as much and start doing navigation a little bit like the old-fashioned way. So I'll have a little bit more navigation content on this channel this year, particularly as I'm writing the book and it's in the forefront of my mind. I've got trips planned. As I said, as you're watching this, I'm headed to the coast to do a trip. My goal is to do a trip every quarter, except for probably quarter 4 of the year, just because things are too busy that time of year. So I'd like to do... These are what are in the works, and I'm not sure when they're going to happen. So in January, I'm going to the North Carolina coast. I'm hopefully paddling to Portsmouth Village, which I've tried to go to like a dozen times and haven't gotten there. So naturally, we're going to try it in January with the smallest weather window possible. Okay, on my board at home, here's what's on the board. The Labrador van trip that my wife and I have been planning for like 3 years and haven't managed to make happen. I think we're going to make at least part of it happen this year. I might do a Maine paddling trip, like Maine Island Trail. Not the whole thing, just a section. I might do an Apostle Islands trip. I am almost certainly going to do a Manhattan circumnavigation. I live now about an hour and a half from Manhattan, and that's a long one day, but it's a one day, and I think I'm going to do that. I'd like to hit the 100 islands in Nova Scotia. Which of those is happening and when those are happening, I am not quite sure yet. In theory, it would be a trip in April or May. It would be a June, July Labrador trip. It would be a end of summer, like August, September circumnavigation. I think that's how it's going to play out, but we'll see. This is important. My goal for the year is to get to 7,500 subscribers. I am at 3,500, which would be a doubling of the past 3 years. So I did 900 one year, 1,800 the next year. I'd like to do 3,600 this coming year, which would get me to 7,000, if my math is right. That's a lot of subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit like, that would help me out a lot. You can also support the channel by heading over to Ko-fi. There are links down below, and you can just buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy stickers, I sell a gear list, I sell a float plan, I sell some of my books in electronic form there. My books in physical form are available on Amazon. So that will help the channel out really well. Otherwise, stick around. I got a lot going on, and I'm super excited to see what this year looks like. Okay, so that's where we are. As I said, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you on the water. Maybe that water right there.